History in the making. Part two. So crazy right now.
I look cause they're so deep in your eyes. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. How I'm feeling and my pride is the one to blame. Cause I know I don't understand just how you love can do it, no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love got me looking so crazy, your love. When I talk to my friends so quietly, who we think he is? Look at what you did to me. Fitted shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. If you ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. It's the way that you know what I thought I knew. It's the beat that my heart gets when I'm with you. But I still don't understand just how you look and do what no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love got me looking so crazy, your love. Looking so crazy, your love got me looking so crazy, your love.
Young Hov, y'all know when the flow is loco. Young B and the ROC. OG, big homie, the one and only. Stick bony, but the pockets is fat like Tony. Soprano, the rock handle like Ben X2. I shake phonies, man, you can't get next to. The genuine article, I do not sing though. I sling though, if anything, I bling yo. Star like Ringo, war like a Greensboro wreck. You crazy, bring your whole set. Jay-Z in the range, crazy in the range. They can't figure him out, they like, hey, is he insane? Yes, sir, I'm cut from a different cloth. My texture is the best firm chinchilla. I've been dealing in chain smokers. How you think I got the name over? I've been realer, the game's over. Fall back young, ever since I made the change over to platinum, the game's been a rap one.
Got me looking so crazy, my baby. I'm not myself lately. I'm foolish. I don't do this. I've been playing myself, baby. I don't care. 'Cause your love got the best of me, and baby you're making a fool of me. You got me sprung, and I don't care who sees. 'Cause baby you got me, you got me so crazy, baby. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love got me looking so crazy, your love. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love got me looking so crazy, your love.
Hey everybody, I'm Karen. I'm going to be your facilitator. I saw there was a lot of chair dancing. I was definitely chair dancing as well. I'm going to give you a heads up. I got on 45 minutes early and tech has not been my friend. Zoom didn't download the update. I had to do a hard stop. Literally the first song on my playlist wouldn't play. So we're going to really try to make the music go as seamlessly as possible. But yeah, just fingers crossed with me on all that. Is this anyone's very first social? Anybody, this is their very, very first. Yes, Lindsay, totally breaking up with perfect today. Zoom has been wonky all week, sure, yes, yeah. And so has Spotify for sure. The same has been happening at my studio. It keeps saying that a song is not embedded and skipping it. So we're gonna do the best we can. So, oh, I'm so excited. Andy, your very first social. Let me welcome you to the Sonder fam. Sardi, so glad that you are here in the chat. We got Maya, my favorite team. I love working with Maya. We work together so well, and she is like my tech expert. Like, why don't you go through and try this? Why don't you go through and try that? So she is supporting us in the chat with anything that you have problems with. A couple of things to be noting. This is the cameras off event. This is your very, very first time. I'm the only one who has to go on camera. Lucky me. After the day I've had, especially, right? Make sure your chat is set to everyone. If you are on an iPhone or iPad, sometimes after you select it, it will revert itself to host and panelist. If it's host and panelist, my end, I can see it, which is awesome. But if you're like, why is no one commenting? It may be because no one else can see it because your setting has changed back. So make sure in the chat box to hover over that little blue place right above the text and pull that down button so that you can select everyone. Okay, I'm really excited. Most of our socials lately have been setups. So I'm super excited to go through a little bit of fun with you tonight. I don't think anyone's going to have any tears on this one. We definitely have had some in the past, myself included, but I think this one's going to be just kind of nice. So if you are new, we are all about tranquility. I know that song wasn't necessarily the most tranquil, and I apologize, but I was literally like, whatever will play, hit go live, don't touch anything. So let's see our community guidelines. Be kind and courteous to yourself and others. So, if something doesn't sit right with you, it's totally okay for you not to do it. You can sit in your color page, color in your coloring page, which is a good one. I like the dolphin one this month. Listen to the music and chill out. You never know when a journal prompt is going to hit you just right at another time period. No promotions or spam. So if you've written a book, this is not the place to advertise it, sorry. Respect everyone's privacy, even if you know some Sonder fam in the real world, what happens here stays here, just like Vegas. No hate speech or bullying. Limit repetitive product and accessory questions like, what's your favorite kind of pen, etc. Those are really great questions to ask in Sonder Club. Sonder Socials are a tool to help elevate your emotional health through the power of community, but you are responsible for your own emotions, well-being, and decisions. And any of those things that you are noticing and seeing in the chat, make sure in your survey that if you're like, hey, we want journal prompts more than once a month, that's the place to be able to put it so that they can see that that is what it is that you guys are wanting. So we're going to do a tranquility activity, a gratitude log, and then the create your own bingo. So I want you to flip to a notes page, the scratch pad for the week, your thoughts journal, sticky notes, anywhere that you like. Maybe you're not using your sleep tracker or expense tracker. You could utilize that space as well. And you're going to fill in the blanks. I feel most relaxed when I calm down by, my mood always improves when I'm feeling down, I remind myself. So I'm going to go off camera, fingers crossed, I can get some awesome instrumentals going for you guys and take a few minutes to share in your journal as well as in the chat. Well, actually write in your journal, share in your chat. Okay, so I saw a lot of beautiful things that really are making you happy. Clean sheets, nice baths, meditation, coloring, um, all of those types of things. I invite you to find a section in your weekly spread, in your one thing section, and to write down a couple of those things that you might be able to do. If you don't want to use your one thing section because you are putting it affirmations there or something very specific, you can leave that section blank. But the thing I want you to do is I want you to schedule some time for that relaxation, that calming down. Maybe like for me, Mondays and Fridays are my busiest days. So those are the days that I might need that reminder to be able to calm myself down. So I could schedule that in my Monday weekly spread or my Friday weekly spread. Or maybe there's a day that just maybe Sunday nights you get a case of the Sunday willies or whatever you want to call the scaries, Sunday scaries. So maybe when I'm feeling down, I remind myself too that on your Sunday night, you schedule that time to do that one thing, and it might just set your week off in a more tranquil way. And we all know if you come to weekly socials that when you are prepped, your week goes so much smaller. I got distracted. So much smoother. Maya was saying I put my shopping list for next week, page 33, so I can remind myself during the week next week. Awesome. That's super smart. So give yourself a little time to be able to do that. Maybe make sure your chat is set to everyone. I see some people putting comments and host and panelists, but maybe feeling beautiful in the outside. Someone said that they love being outdoors. Then maybe you schedule a time on maybe a day that you can sit outside and eat your lunch. Or maybe it's as easy as having your tea on your front or back porch or balcony. Or maybe it's just opening the windows in the car that day and just knowing that that little bit is going to help you. So the next little journal prompt, this is also not in your journal. So any of those places that we suggested, a notes page, a scratch pad, a repurposed area, or maybe if you don't use the section in your weekly spread, you could think about this one. Journal prompt, in what ways can you be more thankful in your day-to-day life? In what ways can you be more thankful? I'm going to play a song and I cannot wait to hear your ideas because I definitely know I need a little more thankfulness in my life, and I'm hoping you can give me some inspiration. I think all of us are like, oh, Kate's little boy wanted to journal with her. That's amazing. So we're going to dig into our gratitude log. This is the very first time that we've actually used the gratitude log on page 13 in a social. So I'm going to kind of go about this in a little bit of an unorthodox way for a journal prompt. The way I'm going to dig into this today is I'm going to walk you through an activity. Some of you may have gone through this activity with our facilitator, Jen K. A lot of you probably don't know, but she actually works in healthcare and supports professionals with their mental health. And the science behind it, I'll go into at that point. But it's a wonderful activity, scientifically proven to be able to help bring beautiful gratefulness. But I'm also going to give you some other options that you might want to categorize your types of gratitude. So this gratitude log is not super big. I mean, if you write really small, you might be able to get what you need to on here. Now, if you're like me and you have messy, bigger writing, you might consider putting this in your weekly spread, maybe in your meal plan section, or maybe in a section that is in your actual weekly setup. So remember, there is no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just bringing something different to you in a way to be able to, Karen, can you see my journal bad handwriting? Thank you. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Nicole says, I've been using just to write some down. I was grateful for each day. I didn't realize I'm just giving you options because, we're having a social on it. So I thought, well, it would be pretty lame if I'm all like, hey guys, fill in today and go with it. So totally, there's not a right or wrong way to do it. So I'm going to actually take you through the exercise Jen K led through. So it is scientifically proven that if you do this exercise that I'm about to share with you for 14 days, that it can last for up to a year of a boost in our happiness, relief, and depression and anxiety as well. It has been scientifically studied. And when she first actually shared it with us during our gratitude month, which I think was March, we said it would last 6 months, but there's new research that says even more. So it's super awesome. So the thing you have to do is you ask, just like in our gratitude log, what are you grateful for? But this is the part, or these are the parts that actually make it change what's happening in your brain for those happiness. What was my role? What was my role? So after you list your gratitude, what was my role in that? And then the third thing, what positive emotions did I experience? Love, serenity, hope, pride, amusement, joy, gratitude, awe, inspiration, interest. So I will walk you through one right now. So Wednesday. It was Wednesday. Wednesday, I took Snickers, my little rescue chihuahua, along the water for a walk. And I was really grateful for the time and the beautiful weather. And my spirit animal is fat pelicans. And I saw 2 fat pelicans and it made my day. So that was what I was grateful for. So the next thing is, what was my role in that? How did I do that? And for me, it was making sure that I carved out time in my calendar. I made sure my AirPods were charged because I was listening to coursework for health coaching school as I was walking. And then also I made sure the doors are off my Wrangler right now, that I had a way to harness Snickers so that he would be safe on the ride there and back. So that was my role in what I was grateful for. And the emotion that I found was awe, and just beauty. Looking over the water is absolutely awe. So I'm going to have you walk through this one time. Now, the way she had us do it the very first time was in our weekly spread. And if you have big handwriting, you may consider doing it in your weekly spread as well, or maybe your meal planner for this next week. But I want to have you practice these 3 steps. What are you grateful for? What is my role? And what is the emotion? And somewhere, if this resonates with you and you want a happiness boost for up to a year for 14 days work, Write down those emotions somewhere so that you can refer back to them if you're doing it in your gratitude log. Now, if you can make it all fit on this cute little page 13, be my guest. More power to you. Use this journal in a way that makes sense for you. There is no right or wrong way. So Ty, how did you contribute to it? So if, let's say, something that I was grateful for today. So it turns out the health club that I worked at for over a decade just got sold out. And I am really grateful that I'm no longer a department head as it changes hands with all that turmoil. So my role in that is that I trained as a Pilates instructor and got a separate job. Even though I still work there, I left my department head role. So that is kind of how it's kind of my role of how did I get to that point. It's like the effect, the cause of the effect, right? The gratitude's kind of the effect. This is kind of your cause. Okay, I'm going to go off camera. We're here to support you in the chat. Walk through this one time. And then also somewhere write down those 10 words. Okay, so I wanted everyone to have experience with that. I mean, it's pretty impressive, 14 days of maybe 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you are going to have reduced depression symptoms and things like that. Now, I promised I would share the actual research behind it. I put it in the chat, but I'll read it to you as well. If you want to, you can scroll up a little bit and you'll see it typed out. So Martin Seligman wrote a book that has this activity in it. If I understand Jen K correctly, she was so sweet and hopped on a Zoom with me yesterday morning to go through this activity with me. And it's called Flourish. Brian Sexton and Catherine Adair just recently did the study that says that it lasts longer than 6 months. So this is real science. So I love that. But if this doesn't resonate with you, or if you are on that gratitude train and maybe you want to do this in your menu section or your weekly spread, I have a couple of other ideas that you might be able to do. So for me this week, I'm going to do this activity in my weekly spread. On Monday, I'm going to write out what was I grateful for, what was my role, and then pick one of those emotions. But in my gratitude log, and this is me, remember, do what works for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm also going to put a second thing I'm grateful for. And here are some examples to be able to kind of categorize so you can maybe see some patterns in your life. Maybe after the fireside chat with Meha, you were all about the 5 senses. So you could look at your gratitude log and see which of the 5 senses does it enrich. And if you took that quiz and you know which one is your most deprived sense, then maybe it helps you bring that sense a little more alive. Now, Bailey, one of our other facilitators, if you were with us last month with the Wheel of Life, thought about maybe using it as an inspiration for categories of looking at your gratitude of, is it education? Is it financial? Is it health, career, family, spiritual, relationship, romance, home, environment, or adventure? And of course, if you change one of those categories to fit your life, absolutely use that category. But then Maya gave me a third option. You can see that we brainstormed on this one together, that you could be family, friends, physical health, meaningful experiences, or personal victories. So if categorizing it gives you a better sense of what's going on in your life, by all means, go ahead and do this. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm not going to leave this up because I want to be able to get to our main event, the bingo. But if you want to take a screenshot of this because you want to utilize one of those categories, this is your time to be able to do that. So you can see my gratitude log. I did it yesterday. I took this photo yesterday. And so I kept it really basic. But so my first one was my car made it to work. My 82 Corvette barely made it to work. I had to Uber home. So if I'm looking at the 5 senses, hearing it in my car revving, I knew those RPMs were going up. I could hear it and knew something was wrong and it wasn't shifting correctly. So I was grateful it didn't leave me stranded on the highway. And then yesterday, the day before, was walking by the water. And for me, that was the sight of the water. So that was me just categorizing my 5 senses of my gratitude. Super stressful, I'm not going to lie. I do not like a car breaking down, no less on a highway. Fortunately, I made it and I cruised into my parking spot and I was good. So we are now moving. Yes, Marty, I do. I do. I have a Wrangler and an 82 bed. I'm spoiled. What can I say? No kids. That's right. No kids. Just a Chihuahua. So that's why I can spend my money that way. So create your own bingo. This is on page 21. I'm going to share a lot of different things, of different examples for it. Marty, my first car was an 85 Firebird. I sanded that sucker down and I taped it up and I bonded it and I painted it with my dad. I like being around cars, super fun. So you can always take a theme for your bingo. You could do random acts of kindness. You could do media such as books, podcasts, shows, movies. It could be clutter clearing, outfits or accessories, things that make you feel radiant, or maybe for this month, tranquil. Ooh, nice. Fully getting like sidetracked with car talk over here. project or mini tasks, self-care. It could be I forgot to change this, it says spring bucket list, but this could be a bucket list for fall or school starting. It could be a personal, it could be a couples, it could be a family. It could be recipes. It could be types of yoga or classes or movements or props that you're going to be able to use. Any of these things. Yes, we are on page 21. So I'm going to show you some different examples, and then I'm going to give you some time. We did this in June. And so this is my June bingo. I'll share my bingo for this one too. So I ended up adding some recipes, some books I wanted to listen to, and some things that I wanted to do. So I kind of took a culmination of all those. And I'm actually still working on this bingo and having a lot of fun with it. During that heat wave, I definitely made some grill meals in the aluminum foil. And oh, it was so nice. Just to cut up some stuff, throw it on the grill, sit outside, read a book. And when it was done, come in and be like, look what I made. Now, I've also, in the past, this is one of my past ones, is I had a bunch of magazines laying around with recipes I'd wanted to try. And so I made a total bingo board based on those recipes, made sure to write what magazine I got it from and what page number. RAK is Random Act of Kindness, Sherry. Here are some examples of other people's. Over here on the right-hand side, it's tough to read, but if I'm not mistaken, this was a Taylor Swiftie bingo. So if you have a favorite artist or something, it could be all about that person. Here's one that is kind of self-care, doing a word search, making a recipe, finish a book, a foot mask, etc. Ollie, thanks. So here's another one, getting a pedicure, do a tarot card reading, light candles, sit out back, redo something, I can't read it, water pick for her teeth, so all those types of things. You can use a free spot. Some of these were from April, so you can see make an April bucket list, color, date night. So any of these are perfectly ones that you can use. Here's another one of reaching out to a friend, enjoying a new activity, 10-minute walk outside, meditation. Here's another one that's really pretty, like visit a coffee shop, try a new craft, play I Spy, go for a nature walk, read a new book, call an old friend. Over here on the left-hand side, campfire, host a basement party, walk 3 miles, fly a kite, take a boat out, unplug for 24 hours. Over here on the right, walk in nature, read 3 books, yoga class, toes in the sand, try a new recipe, a family game. Love this one over here. What does self-care actually mean and what am I supposed to be doing with it anyway? So that's what hers is completely and totally related to. Baking something, a face mask, go to church, get dressed up, save $100, wear pajamas all day. That sounds absolutely awesome. Though I shouldn't complain because I wear yoga pants all day, every day for my work. So not too far off. Over on the right is another one. This is an August kind of summer one. Do DIY lashes and manis, read 6 books, finish an audio book, get a petty, get new sandals, school supplies, a new lunchbox. I have a feeling this might be a teacher. Oh, Ty, I like that. Screen-free bingo, absolutely. Here is another one, a back to school. I guarantee you this is probably a school teacher that created this one. Also, here's one, I think this one was Jen O's Imagination Bingo, and she created wild cards. So she left some of them blank that she could kind of fill in as a wild card as she thought of it. Elementary, yes, Indian. Yes, I was an elementary school teacher, definitely recognize that. Here's another one that Jen O did. She talked about having a wild card so that you were able to add something in that you found real excitement about. And then also you can use a gray space. So, just if you need to be able to fill something in that day, there's nothing wrong with that either. And don't worry when you're working, I will go through those. Over here on the left-hand side, this one is mine for this month. Maya and I both belong to a life coaching group, and the theme for this month is play. So I dedicated my bingo board to things that I thought would be play. Now Maya's version of play is going to look very different than my version of play. And that's the whole point, is that what may be playful for me may not be playful for her knitting and those types of things. Awesome. For me, probably make me very anxious, but she probably isn't going to want to get on the reformer and have a hour and a half session. So we're all different in the way that we play. And then over here is another self-care bingo, but I love that she used stickers throughout. Yeah, I understand. The reformer can be a little scary. When you see those loops on people's feet, when I used to walk by, I was like, what on earth is that? And then I thought this was a really cute, like, queenly bingo, or you got this. So she's adding to it as she goes. Dessert first, yes. And then here are some different examples here. So you can take a theme or not. It doesn't matter. This is your bingo. Think about what are the things that you've been wanting to do that you've been putting off. Maybe those are, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like house cleaning. If you are going to do some organization, make sure to put some fun things in there too, just for you. So I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to put some music on and I'm going to scroll through these slides as it gives you a chance to be able to work on this for a good few minutes. I cannot wait to see. Let us know in the chat if you are theming your bingo board and what are some of the things that you're putting underneath it. I'm so sorry to interrupt our Lion King song. It was not the song I intended to play, but Spotify had its own ideas. It was going to be Nothing Compares to You, but what can you do? We're coming to a close with our evening tonight. Can you believe it? Really, really, really ask that you share your pages. I'm going to go in tonight after you guys share, and I'm going to be taking screenshots for the next time I do this social. Your examples might be one of them. Taylor, no one cares about your handwriting. Mine is absolutely miserable too. And not only that, but you might find that you inspire someone else. So please, 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 if you feel comfortable doing so, and it doesn't have anything too personal on it, share it in Sonder Club. Refer a friend is still going on, $10 for them, $10 for you. That could go for candles, bath bombs. Doesn't have to be the journal. If you don't have the, whatever they're calling the yearly one now, the life book. Yeah, I think that's what they're calling it now. They changed the name 3 times, so I've gotten a little confused. But you can use the $10 for them for that. And then looky there, there's that QR code where you can tell them you want more bingo boards, or you want the cooking social back, or you want journal prompts more than 1 time a month. That's the place to put it. And if you really want to go the extra step, you can always give them the feedback at hello@silkandsonder.com. More Snickers. Hold on, he's right here. You've been requested, Sneaky. Here he is. He's here to wish you a happy, happy, happy weekend. Sneaky says he's tired from his pack walk. I know his ears and his legs are ridiculous. You're such a good boy. He's my baby. So also make sure you have that YouTube chat. Save it. It doesn't have the, not YouTube, the YouTube link. It doesn't have the chat, but it's all good. And then in honor of my poor little car dying, hopefully Spotify will let me play Little Red Corvette to lead us out. I hope you had a wonderful evening. I had a great time spending time with you, and I will see you soon. Happy Friday.
I guess I should know by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. See, you're the kind of person that believes in making out once, love them and leave them fast. I guess I must be dumb. She had a pocket full of horses, Trojan and some of them used. But it was Saturday night. I guess that makes it alright. You see, what have I got to lose? Honey, I say, little red Corvette, baby, you're much too fast. Little red Corvette, you need a love that's gonna last. Guess I should've closed my eyes when you drove me to the place where your horses run free. 'Cause I felt a little ill when I saw all the pictures of the jockeys that were there before me. Believe it or not, I started to worry. I wondered if I had enough class. But it was Saturday night. I guess that makes it alright. You say, baby, have you got enough gas? Oh yeah, little red Corvette, baby, you're much too fast. Yes, you are. Little red Corvette, you need to find a love that's gonna last. Oh, body like yours on a B&J's, buzz on the verge of being obscene. No move over, baby. Give me the keys. I'm gonna try to tame you in the red love machine.